trying to make this a little less bright, but yeah, let's go with that one. Hi, my name is Pia. I live in Helsinki. I'm self-employed. I have an online store where I sell lovely European brands of children's clothing and lifestyle accessories, and also some of my own knitwear. And I am partly a knitwear designer as well. I've published a couple of patterns on Etsy and on Ravelry, and this is my knitting podcast. I've never really taken a video of myself, so this feels quite weird, but yeah, I love watching like knitting podcasts on YouTube, and I don't really have many people who I can talk to about knitting or hear about their thoughts about knitting other than watching knitting podcasts. Well, that's why I guess I like them, because I do like people talking about knitting and talking about yarn, talking about their own designs, and talking about the things that they've enjoyed knitting lately. So this is me talking about my knitting, I guess. Yeah, I've been wanting to start a knitting podcast for ages, for years, I think now. But there's always something, not good enough equipment, fearing about not having anything like of value to say. But then I realized, like, the podcasts that I like the most are the ones that just very calmly talk about knitting. And yeah, I cannot promise to be calm. I'm I don't know. But I'm trying to be me. So yeah. I have a big pile of things here on my side that I was thinking of showing, and I guess I could start with, because I have a lot of finished objects here, and only one thing that is on my needles at the moment, if you do not count a couple of swatches for new designs. So I could actually show you the one thing that is on my needles, and then go on to talk about a little bit about the finished objects. And I think I'm going to try to keep this quite a short video, because I have no idea how I'm going to edit it. That's something I need to learn as well. But I could talk about the one thing that I have on my needles at the moment, and then I could show you two things that were finished as the first projects of this knitting journey that I'm still on. So maybe that would make some sense. And then maybe talk about little some other finished objects as well. So yeah, I have on my needles currently, it's here. A little bit of, yeah, it's Vappu coming, and we had our son's birthday yesterday, so we just had grandparents coming and eating some chocolate cake for our 6-year-old's birthday. So yeah, we have 2 kids, and my partner and I live in Helsinki. I think I said that, but yeah, my project that is on the needles at the moment is Rouheaknits balloon sweater. I'm knitting it in the biggest size. I usually wear size large or extra large. I do like my clothes a little bit oversized, but this one will be like just slightly bigger, just a little bit of positives, I think. I've finished the front and the back, the hemline, and now I'm knitting the first sleeve, and I'm in love with this pattern. There was I wish I could remember her name, but there's a knitter on Instagram. Not imagine, well, a few, but just on her, I think her body type is close to mine, and I saw her wearing this, and I thought that I need that. I need that sweater in my life, and also I love the details, like the design details of this sweater, and the tubular cast on here. It is just beautiful, like the details and the shoulder. It's absolutely lovely. I think it's better here where you can see that I've picked up the sleeves, and the way that it goes, it flows. I think that would be a good word for this, because there's a definite flow to this sweater that I love. I love it. I recently realized that cold colors work better for me than warm colors. That's a bit of a shame, because there's been a long time that I've been drawn to warm colors. I enjoy looking at them, but I've realized that they don't really look good on me, and then I tend not to wear those. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make things that I'm really wearing. I'm really gonna wear a lot, and I think this will go really nicely with my black linen trousers. And yeah, I'm not very itchy. I'm not very tender to yarn, and as you can see, there's a definite like fluff going on here, but I can probably wear this without even a t-shirt underneath. So I'm making this out of Sundness Garn's Sunday, held with Gebhard Kitseta tweed, which is a kid mohair and silk yarn, and this is, I think this is 100% merino. So yeah, it's gonna be warm, but it's also gonna be perfect for like spring and autumn here in Finland. And yeah, I can already see that when it's finished, I'm gonna wear it a lot. Yeah, I love this combination, and yeah, cold colors. Yeah, I'm really enjoying working on this because I love stockinette projects. I'm mostly so tired in the evening when I get to knit that I don't mind, because I like to listen to books or watch Netflix or something when I knit, or I can just go to the kids' room, and while they're building a train track, I can just knit at the same time. So, and I don't mind, I can just put it aside easily and stuff like that. So I always usually have a stockinette project on my needles for that reason, because it's just easy to pick up and easy to put down if needed. And while I'm on the subject, I might as well show you the sweater that I finished just before I started that one. It's this is Sari Nordlund's Hour pullover. A little bit darker. I think I was using a merino from Knitting for Olive and their silk mohair as well. I think they're the recommended yarn for this project as well. So I used that. And here as well, I love the details. The way that the really wide sleeves are constructed. This is knit from bottom up, and the other one is knitted top down. So there's a little bit of different construct, which I like because I like learning new things. I haven't been knitting very many sweaters in my life. I've knitted a few for my kids and then these for myself. I knit this Hour pullover. I think I knit this in size 5, and it turned out a little bit too big, and I think that I'm gonna knit another one, but I'm gonna knit it in size 4. But like I said, I don't mind it being like oversized. I've been wearing this a lot, and like now when there's sunny but still a little bit cold outside, I can just throw this on and I don't need a coat. And yeah, I've been wearing it a lot. The pattern calls you to turn this, but I kind of liked the look, how it is like this. And then I figured that if I sometimes get like, at some point if I get bored, I can just alter the look and like sew the seam as it was meant to be. So yeah, I love this sweater as well. The sleeves are so lovely, the way they go, and then almost, yeah. This is my favorite sweater at the moment. I wear it every day basically. I've worn it all winter, and I just put it outside sometimes to freshen it up a little bit. I've only blocked it and I haven't washed it ever since, and I don't think it will need to be washed for many years. I'll just keep it outside if it needs to be freshened up. Yeah, so these are my selfish knitting projects that I've had on my needles lately. Now I could talk about a little about how I got into knitting. Of course, I think many people might know that in Finland we take arts and crafts at a young age in school. So basically everyone is taught how to knit. But from that time I hated it. I just was not good at it, and I really didn't enjoy knitting at all when I was a kid. But then when I started expecting our first child, now almost 7 years ago, he turned 6. So I started crocheting first because I found it more like accessible to someone who hasn't been doing anything ever for a really long time. And then shortly after that, I started knitting, and I looked up some knitting patterns or like stitch patterns online, and then I tried to look for instructions on how to knit and how to purl, and basically that's what I did. I'm gonna show you I bought a yarn from the supermarket, as many of us do when we start out. I thought this was a lovely color, and I love the variegation of the yarn. I had no idea that it would end up creating stripes, which, like, now if I would do this all over again, I would not combine this stitch pattern with this yarn. But it was like the very first project that I did. And I just started knitting. I didn't have any swatch. I didn't have any like idea of how big this was going to be. I just started knitting and hoping that I would have enough yarn in the end. So I made a blanket for our first little boy, and it became quite big. It's been used a lot. It's been used outside. It's been used on our balcony. It's been used in their play, and yeah, I love it. I hope that someday I can gift it for their kids, maybe, or just keep as a memory. But yeah, this blanket was basically the first thing I knit when I started knitting. And then it was funny to realize that, well, of course, I chose quite a thick yarn. This wool with some, I think this is with polyamide. Very common, like a supermarket yarn from Novita here in Finland. Big needles, so it was quite easy. But as you can see, the gauge is quite nice. The stitch definition is nice. So when I was knitting this, I was like, this is not hard. This is quite easy. Why have I not been doing this a lot? Because it really seemed really nice. So that's what I did. And after that, I was like, yeah, I think I knit a few socks that were just, they did not look like socks. So I was like, yeah, how am I gonna read a pattern? And then I decided I'm gonna try to do something a bit easier. And I found this pattern again from Novita, I think. I really cannot remember. The pattern called for some different yarn that what I've used here. This is again something from Novita. But I really liked the way this turned out. But again, I had a lot of like challenges in reading the pattern, and then I don't know, but because I was still able to finish this, so yeah, many naps have been taken in this overall. But what I realized shortly after I had finished this was that I actually found following English patterns easier than Finnish patterns. I'm not sure if it's because Finnish patterns, we do not have the tradition of using like abbreviations like they do in English patterns. And the abbreviations, I don't know, it just makes it easy to just go back and forth and remind yourself of what everything does and how everything is constructed. I feel that English patterns are more clear. Because when I started knitting out of English patterns, it's when I really started enjoying the craft. And I think for the longest time, I just started knitting hats. And I created the most simple knitted hat pattern with a brim, top, and then like swirly sort of just basic decreases on top, and then a pom-pom. And I actually sold some of those for a little while. But that was just, I don't know, it gave me the opportunity to find the muscle memory for knitting, like truly. And after that, I've been making my own patterns, and I've been knitting out of other people's patterns because I like to have a bit of both. I'm not that experienced as a knitter that I would feel confident in starting to explore really like demanding what's the word? Demanding techniques. So what I like to do is I like to search for a pattern that looks interesting, looks something that I would want to wear, and that features a technique that I might like maybe have not used before. And then I do that, and then I find that I've learned something. So I think that it's and of course, when I get a pattern from someone else, I get to support their work as well. So I think it works quite nicely that way. But yeah, then I could, because those are now finished, stuff that I started knitting with. But then I could show you a couple of my own designs, just so you know that, like, what is the style of the things I do. I've been making chunky beanies, like I think, for sale for retailers as well, and directly to people who have wanted to buy them from me. But I've started to move away from selling knitwear to making my own patterns, and I can talk a little bit more about that like in a later episode. But the main reason is that it's very hard to find the correct price for the work that you do, and in knitting you do a lot of work. So I think in one winter, last winter, well, not this winter, but the winter before, I think I knit like a little bit over 300 hats during that winter, and I kind of burned out. It took everything from me, like in a creative sense. The only thing I was doing during the evenings was knit hats. So I needed a break, and I still do those hats because I love them, but I don't offer them to retailers anymore. I only sell them in my own online store now. But yeah, that was a little detour. Yes. Yeah, I'm a little bit tired. I haven't been sleeping very well, so sorry if I look that as well. But yeah, maybe I could show you, because I'm talking about the chunky stuff. I made this cowl. This is gonna be a knitting pattern that is gonna be published in like after the summer, or like towards August, September, because it's just way too hot now for this. But this was amazing last winter. I was able to use this like in March, when February, March, when it was still quite cold in here in Finland. A lot of snow, a lot of cold winds, and I was able to wear this, and it was so good. So it's gonna be a pattern, but it's gonna be after the summer. I'm gonna see if I can insert a picture of me wearing this, and if not, I'll just link to my my Instagram, which is Rouheaknits, by the way. But I'll try to do the information below, so you know what I'm talking about. and you can go back to it. So that's a pattern that is going to come out, a chunky cowl. Or no, chunky, no, not a cowl. It's balaclava, of course, balaclava. Yeah. And then I could talk about 2 patterns that have just come out. Also, just so you know, oh no, wait. No, I'll show you I think this was one of the first patterns that I did, but it shows quite well like what kind of knitting I like to do. I like to knit accessories because I usually have a bigger project and then I have a bunch of smaller ones because I love getting like projects done, and sometimes it's nice that you can do it in a few hours. So I think this was like the first thing that I started selling and had like a proper marketing stuff lined up for it and things. But this is my summer bonnet pattern. It's quite simple, but with a twist. Yeah, it's a stockinette with a twist. And I love the texture that it creates. This is made in cotton, very soft cotton yarn, which is what makes it perfect for summer as well. You can make this from merino as well, of course. And then I made sort of matching bloomers. These have been in the storage, my first samples, so. But yeah, baby bloomers. And I think this was like these were the first projects where I started to find like the aesthetic that I love. Neutral, very neutral, simple colors. And interesting texture with quite a minimalist design, but still very like beautiful details, because that's what I like the most. Like here, you see, brushed ends, tassels, just small details like that in a very otherwise minimalistic design. That's what I like to do. I'm a little bit bright, aren't I? I'm gonna just, yeah, I don't know if I managed to. Yeah, maybe that's a little better. I have a window here and it's really sunny outside, which I like. So that's like the first ones. And then I think this is something that I made the pattern I made very shortly after those ones, but I was so burned out from all the chunky beanie knitting that I basically never ended up publishing this pattern before this spring, actually. This is my Pixie bonnet, and you can here you can also see that the design is quite basic, and it's made in ribbing. So this really, like, this can be used for many years because it's very stretchy, but because this is alpaca, by the way, so it's also really, really soft and warm. And here you can see a very, very simple design, some easy techniques to make it look interesting, and also so it's interesting to knit. But yeah, again, rusty color, very down to earth, which I like. That's my take on the very popular Pixie bonnet, which was like, I think a few years back. It was really, really cool and nice. And then I've published a couple of beanie patterns actually during my time. This is the latest one. I've started to prefer doing beanies like from top down. There's something about increasing instead of decreasing that I really like. I love the way this beanie like becomes. The idea, this is arm beanie, because of the colors remind me of like spring mornings. This is designed so that you could utilize, because it's in DK weight. I think this is Sudnes Garn Duo, so it's merino cotton blend. And the idea, because it's DK weight, many of us have DK weight yarns or combinations of yarns that you can like knit as a DK weight. So you can utilize your scrap yarns by making different kinds of stripes for the print. And I really love the wide ribbing here. And there's actually a pattern that I haven't published yet. But when I'm thinking, because the wide ribbing is like, I love it at the moment. This is also alpaca. I made this for our younger son. And he looks so adorable in it because he has this little bit longer hair, all white. Very soft curls, big curls. So yeah, he looks adorable in this. And this is also perfect for the weather at the moment. And I think this will be very usable during summer as well, because we tend to have quite cold evenings sometimes. So yeah, so I'm thinking about writing a pattern for this, but it's obviously very similar to this. And I actually made this first, and for some reason I thought that this was I don't know if people would like this, so I just didn't. So I made this a little bit more traditional, but I don't know. Maybe I'll just publish it. Maybe I'll just do it and be done with it. Yeah. Because yeah, I do like this. I do like the look a lot. It's fun. It's fun. I think this is made out of Sudnes Garn's mini alpaca, which brings me to the next project, which is something that is currently in tech knitting and soon, tech editing. It's been tech edited at the moment. Lovely Jess is taking a look at the pattern, and then I'm gonna send it to my tester, because I was only able to find one. I don't know how other people do it. But I have one tester, so I'm really happy I have one tester. And yeah, all my patterns, by the way, are tech edited, but I think this one was the first one that was actually test knitted by 2 people other than myself. Of course, it's so simple, and I know I trust my tech editor. So yeah, I find that it's better than nothing. But I would, of course, hope that I would be able to find a big line of people who could tech edit. But I don't know. There's something about that process that I haven't nailed yet. But that's something that I'm gonna try to get better at. I'm trying to look for testers, and I'm still looking for a tester for the smallest size. For this is Sora Kids Vest. I actually got inspiration for this I've been following a few Japanese and Korean Instagrammers because I just love the Korean style children's wear. It's just something my heart starts to, it just gets me so excited. I know they're beautiful silhouettes and stuff. But yeah, so this is also made out of mini alpaca, like the hat, and these are a nice match. But yeah, so this pattern is tech edited. It's you knit the front from bottom up. Do a little shaping here for the neck. And then we do the back side, or the back, which is quite a lot of longer than the front. That was just something, the detail that I fell in love with. Like, you can see that it's quite a lot of longer here. There's a big slit on the sides. It also makes it really wearable for years to come, but it also makes it quite easy to layer. There's a little garter panel here on the side. It's seamed. One thing is really nice. I feel that I've come a lot more, like, I've become better at making the seams. That's something I'm quite excited about. And then you pick up stitches for the ribbing on the sides, for the neckline. And this is also turned. You can see here. And I know that for my sample, I was not thinking clearly. I should have made a really stretchy bind off for the top here, because of course it's not stretchy now. So if I had made it more stretchy, it would be easier, because now I'm worried that my boy will be too big soon to wear this, because he cannot get his head from here otherwise, because it's not very stretchy at all. So that's something I've written in the pattern, also to make it a bit more wider, so there should be no similar problems. But I really like, again here, just a simple, very simple textured pattern and a few intricate details to make it interesting and really tailored looking. I really enjoy this. Small details like this just make my heart sing. That's why I love designing it, where I try to make sure that there are lines that continue, and little things like this are thought out as well as possible. So yeah. So that's this pattern will be coming out in May. And then there are a couple of things that are ready, but for different kinds of reasons I've never finished the pattern yet, and hopefully I will. It's just, it requires a little bit of brain power, and I think some coffee. So yeah, but this is a sweater I designed already last a winter a year ago. This is over a year ago, but I never really finished the pattern, and I kind of know why. it's because of grading. Like this Rouheaknits vest, this is always a double sized, so I have 3 different sizes for this one. The first one, the smallest one, is for 1 to 2 years old, and this is for from 3 to 4 years old, and the biggest size is from 5 to 6 years old. I want to make patterns for clothes because obviously it takes time to create something like this. So I want to make patterns that are usable, for knitwear that is usable for more than just 1 year, because obviously the kids grow. So I want to try to make patterns that have room to grow, so that you would be able to maximize the time that your kid is gonna be able to wear this. Because look at it, But I haven't done a lot of grading. Grading a beanie, grading a bonnet. That's super simple. But when it comes to grading sweaters, there are things that I'm uncertain of, and when you add to that my difficulty of finding test knitters, you obviously understand that it's I'm worried if the pattern is going to be the quality of the pattern is going to be as good as I want it to be. So, and but anyway, this is a sweater pattern that will be coming out. I think I'm gonna try to do it so that it will come out at the end of summer, July, August, the latest. But the only thing I need to do really is to figure out how to grade it so that the panel, the little panel here on the front, keeps because I want it to be the same length as the neckline here. You can see it. So I just need to figure out how to keep it and if I need to, because there is a little bit of pattern here, like a stitch pattern panel. So just a few little things that I'm not really sat down and figured out. But once I do that, I'm able to publish the patterns. And otherwise, it's just, I think this is moss stitch. Yeah, I really love the look. I think this is from Lamana Como. It's a lovely, lovely woolen spun. I think it's woolen spun it's quite fluffy. It's like almost like shelter or whatnot, the Brooklyn tweed kind of. But this is it's really light in lightweight and very soft. And so I haven't, what pains me the most is because I've been meaning to, I'm like, yes, next week I'll write the pattern. So I haven't been able to let my boy wear this shirt as much as I would have hoped. But it's quite big still, so this summer he'll be able to wear this. So this is something that is coming up then. Also, very nice example of the sort of minimalist designs that I'm going for. And then this is something that I will probably never write the pattern for, but this was the first real garment that I made, and it has been worn a lot. This is just basically the same stitch pattern that was on the bloomers and the bonnet is on this t-shirt. So I don't think I'll write a pattern for this t-shirt, but it taught me a thing or two. It taught me that if I were to, and I'm gonna design something similar this year, by the way, but I think for this, something that is this drapey, I would love to use a side seam just to give it a little bit more like body, make it a little bit more constructed, because this starts to, you can see it can also be just the way that I knit, but it will start to twist like this, like you know what happens to like badly made t-shirts or something. So I don't want this to twist, so I think if I design something similar, it will be seamed. This was knitted in the round. It's just because I love knitting in the round, but there's just, there's a place for everything, and sometimes it might be more wise to knit flat and sew the seams. But here again, I think I found a really nice way of making the collar look quite simple and nice, and it only has like a really short sleeves. So yeah, this will go to my boys' wardrobe again for the coming season. And then I think this is actually the last thing that I've finished. Again, something that will be published towards next autumn. But this is called Virta. This is a color called Virta. It's knit in Knitting for Olive's heavy merino. So after blocking, it will be super soft, like butter. And yeah, it's again very simple design with a few little interesting details. And Virta means stream in Finnish, and you can see the pattern here, that it flows or flow. Virta is flow or stream, so yeah. And this is for our 6-year-old. The idea is that, as you can see, it's quite wide. The idea is that he loves to like pull his collar all the way over his face. So this is so that he can do just that, so that he can hide there. And if he wants, he can also tuck it in like this, so that it will be a lot more cropped here. But he really likes that he can put it up his face. And well, with the winters that we've had lately, it's not a bad idea. It's been really cold. But yeah, very simple shoulder detail there. Yeah. I guess these are everything that I'll show you this time. I hope next time I'll be able to show you a few new designs that will be on my needles. I've been doing a little swatching for the next one, but I wasn't completely satisfied with this one. So I'm thinking of using a different yarn. I'm thinking of using silk from Knitting for Olive. So I just have to go and press order. And yeah, maybe I'll talk a little bit more about this in a later episode. So yeah, I feel this was a short one, but I've been talking for 50 minutes, and I guess I'll try to see where it goes. So bear with me. This was the first first time I've been recording. It was actually quite fun, but maybe next time I'll do a little bit of some sort of notes, or I don't know. What do you feel? Was it easy to follow? Yeah. I'm not using any, I figured I'm just not gonna bother with equipment or anything like that. I just wanted to like start doing this. So I'm recording on my phone. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what comes. I'll put information about my Instagram, my Ravelry, my Etsy store below. And yeah. Thank you so much for watching. And I hope I see you in a few weeks. I think I'll try to do one episode every 2 weeks now in the beginning. That's because I have no idea how long it will take to edit the video or upload it or anything like that. Or I don't even know how I'm gonna upload the video to my computer from my phone. Maybe I'll just move it to Dropbox or something, but it's bound to take ages because it's over 50 minutes already. So yeah. But yeah, summer is coming. For me, that's really, I always find a lot of knitting inspiration during the spring, especially for new designs. I don't know, it's the light or something. So I'm trying to take advantage of that right now. Because I'm working from home, I can accommodate 1 or 2 hours per day for knitwear design during the working hours. But I don't dare to do too much because it really doesn't pay the bills, at least yet. Maybe, I don't know. But I'm mostly doing it because I love the creative process. I love getting inspired and looking at different things and just learning new ways to, new ways to use yarn. This is the swatch I made for the vest. Let me just show. And of course, if you liked the video, do give a thumbs up and follow if you want to see more when I get more done. But yeah, it was really nice talking to you, and now I'm gonna go watch more knitting podcasts to see what other people are up to. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you in a week or two. Bye.